Okay, so tell us who you are.
My name is Ande Loafman. I am a 27-year teacher. This will be my final year. I'll be retiring at the end of this year. I teach physical education, the Malden school districts, in the elementary level, and I'm also the Southeast Region President for MSTA.
Awesome. You told me before that you taught in Arizona and then came back to Missouri. What are some differences you noticed about teaching in the two different states?
At that time, that was about 25 years ago, at that time I would say the state of Arizona was a little bit more advanced in some of the teaching methods that they were doing, but Missouri has quickly caught up to that and probably surpassed that. The school where I taught was a site-based management, which was quite different than most school districts. And I also happened to be on the Navajo reservation and taught Native Americans, which was a big learning curve for me.
A big cultural difference between the two places.
Absolutely. I mean, I had never been out west, and so the Arizona culture was different, and then the Navajo people have their own culture, and it forced me to think differently about my students, which I'm extremely grateful for that privilege.
Awesome. So 27 years is a long time to be a teacher. What are a few things that have stuck out to you over the years?
Well, certainly education has changed throughout those years. Students have changed slightly, but you know, kids are still kids. 27 years, I don't know, I look back with a lot of fondness and some things I would go back and do a little bit different. But as far as education, I think we've gotten farther away from really teaching to the individual child versus now we're more test driven.
Yeah, agreed. What has been your greatest accomplishment in your career, looking back?
Oh my goodness. I really can't put my finger on one thing. I have to say I've enjoyed my job. I still enjoy my job. And I hope that I have passed along some encouragement along the way. You know, one of the things when I first started teaching is I wanted students to enjoy physical education and to have active lifestyles throughout their lifetime. I didn't want to do anything that made them dislike physical activity. So that's one thing I've kind of always tried to do, and hopefully I've been successful with that.
What do you think that you've gained with your relationship, professionally or personally, with MSTA, being involved with MSTA and representing your school and stuff?
Well, MSTA is allowed me some opportunities I wouldn't have had. I've networked with a lot of people, and they have encouraged me, and I probably would not have done some of these things. I probably wouldn't be president of the region had I not had those people to encourage me and mentor me. And I think the same is true of, you know, my teaching career in general with other teachers. But providing opportunities to develop my leadership skill is probably the biggest thing that I would say MSTA has done for me. As far as the organization, the reason why I got involved with MSTA was because they always put students first. Whenever they look at an item, whether it's a legislative item, they're looking at how it impacts the students in Missouri. So that to me was something that really drew me to that organization.
Awesome. What are your thoughts on finally retiring?
I have mixed emotions about that. I'm excited about my new adventures. Although I still love teaching, and I probably will sub and do those kinds of things and still be actively involved as much as I can in a retired state.
Yeah. What about, is there one piece of advice you would give to first-year teachers? Like just one thing that you just really would want them to hold on to for their 27-year career?
Well, I don't know about one thing. I think, you're not going to have all the answers, and be willing to look at the people that are around you as resources. Find those teachers that are experienced, find those teachers that are in your subject area, look to them for input. You know, don't be afraid to have somebody come in and observe your class, and they may see some things and give you some ideas that you just hadn't thought of yet. And so I think as long as you're willing to do that, you know, you're going to have a successful career.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you sitting down talking to me. I would like to schedule a time at the end of the year, right before you leave your big retirement, ask you the same questions to see if anything in this last year has changed your opinion on anything that we talked about today.
Sure, I'll look forward to it.
All right. Thank you
Kayla.
so much.
All right.